Teachers of Reddit, what's the weirdest rumor you've heard about a student? A new transfer student enlisted the help of all of his existing friends in the school to spread the rumor that his real name was Baku, and he was born in Wakanda, Africa to all the teachers, while speaking in a really shoddy Nigerian accent. We are in the American Northeast. I was hired halfway through the year, and by then it was just assumed that it was true and no one had corrected it. He was brought up in a teachers meeting, and I was just like, wait. Baku? From the fictional continent of Wakanda? And no one says anything. Dead room. I press on. Black Panther? The movie? Guys? And suddenly the social studies teacher stands up and slams his fist on the table, points at the vice principal, and just yells, "I got him, told you." Good times, good times. There was this rumor that this senior girl in my high school was dating one of the science teachers. She hung around his office and after class a lot, but it seemingly was nothing. Just kids making up dumb shit for whatever reasons they do. He was a beloved teacher, and she was pretty low-key, but a cool girl nonetheless. Figured some douche got a bad grade, or had it out for the guy somehow. Nothing ever came of it. Curveball, a few months after she graduated he divorced his wife, left his family, and went public on Facebook that he was dating this 18-year-old girl. He was probably in his mid-40s. What the fuck? Did not see that coming. Okay, a girl who lied on social media about having an affair with a teacher. She recanted later when it was revealed he was gay. First she claimed to have been hacked. Then she said it never happened to her, but to another girl she was protecting. Full police investigation later, and she admitted to doing it because she felt she needed support from her peers. One student was rumored to be a Satanist witch who was scared to God's holy light since she wore modest clothing and used an umbrella in full sun. She had vitiligo and was undergoing a steroid therapy that made her extremely sensitive to sunlight. Colleague married a much younger woman who was rumored to be his student. She was neither. The woman they saw him with was his daughter. Must be a fun school to attend. Student's dad was a dentist. Stole his dad's sedatives and sold them or something. Can't verify the truth of it, but that student isn't at the school anymore, so that would explain why. Student's dad was a dentist. Stole his dad's sedatives and sold them or something. I highly doubt that. More teacher adjacent than a teacher, but there was a rumor that this one extremely strange young lady was the product of incest, and that her mom, aunt, would only let her drink pineapple juice. I think the reality was far more banal. She definitely had some kind of issues, but it was probably your garden variety developmental delay or something like that. Poor girl. She was nice, in her way. The pineapple juice detail is very specific. I had a really weird student who was asking all kinds of odd personal questions and texted me at odd hours. I never responded. Talked to another teacher who had the same student previously, and she told me that student had a really unnatural sleep cycle because, and I quote, the student was an avid worshipper of Satan. The student was on standby for spontaneous worship at all hours of the day. The student actually told me about it later on. Nothing threatening, just very matter-of-factly. Confirmed the whole thing, and hinted about being part of a large group, and hinted at there being many ways one must be ready to serve. Didn't get any clarification, so it might just have been to mess with me. Not my worst student, but odd. Not a teacher, and not necessarily a weird rumor, but an interesting story nonetheless. During my summer camp there was a rumor going around that a guy and a girl were twins. They didn't look similar, and they showed up in different cars, so most people didn't believe it. Since most people didn't believe the rumors, no one asked the guy or girl for a couple of weeks, but eventually, someone brought it up in conversation. The guy and the girl both revealed that yes, they were in fact twins, but their parents had a divorce when they were young, and each parent got custody of one kid. That definitely made more sense than the other theories people were coming up with. Heard a rumor kids were doing coke in the bathroom. I worked at an inner city school and coke really wasn't a big problem, pot was their choice. I walked out of my class during planning period to find the girl walking out of the bathroom with white powder on her nose. I asked her about it, and she responded with, "It's powdered donuts, Mrs. K. I swear. I'm pregnant and it's all I want to eat. But everyone thinks I'm doing coke." She then pulled out 2 empty bags of powdered donuts. We got her connected to some pregnancy help. I'm not a teacher, this was about a fellow student. The rumor was that he peed through his eyes. This was in primary school. Pee is stored in the eyeballs. I go to many schools, so I had heard several rumors, but one stuck in my mind the most. I went to an extremely ghetto school for the first time. Apparently the substitute they had the week before left the classroom in tears and was unable to substitute ever again due to emotional issues. They told me that one of the students stole her brand new iPhone and she ran into the bathroom crying. I asked why the student did it. They hated her voice, apparently. I'm so glad that didn't hate me or my voice. The kids were nothing but nice to me. Former band director here. We had a color guard girl who could not catch any time she tossed her flag. The kids made up a rumor that she had a glass eye and that was why she couldn't catch anything. 2 years later, the girl was about to graduate and came into our office to talk to the staff. She had never told a soul, but her left eye had been glass for years. She lost it in a car accident before moving into our district. You couldn't tell by just looking at her. Turns out, the made up rumor was 100% spot on. Error, success. 2 students, fraternal twins, arrive at the school age 15. One looked older than the other, but that happens. Then the rumor comes out that they are not twins, but sisters. I tell the behavior support workers, who look into it. Turns out, one of the sisters is 22 years old. Parents lied about her age to get her into the school and therefore stay in the country. Whoops. Sort of similar thing at my school. Someone from another country joined the school who looked way too old, like 25 years old. Our teacher even talked about suspicions of his age with us and thought he looked too old. One day he just disappeared from school and didn't return. I can only assume it must have been the same situation. I had a student that was rumored to have eaten a piece of shit. He was out of school for about a week or 2 around the time this rumor was spreading. When he came back to school he was charging kids $1 per view from the camcorder he had in his locker. Sadly, this rumor was true. Amazingly, his girlfriend didn't dump him. I guess shit was hers. Apparently a 6th grader cried his eyes out during health class because learning about the skeletal system freaked him out. Health teacher started talking about ribs and he started panicking, saying he was too uncomfortable to handle any more of the lesson. Not a teacher, but I heard about one of my colleagues. So once in 7th grade, after finishing maths class, it was recess time. Everyone went out of the class, except a boy and a girl. The latter was known for staying to read books and stuff anyway. We came back from recess only to find that the girl wasn't there anymore, while the boy was sitting in the back with a red hand mark. 100%. A critical strike slap. Everyone thought he was giving her money to have sex. This is 7th grade, mind you, because there were eyewitnesses after a few days of problems with the administration. These fucking snitches, I swear. It turns out he was giving her money to buy him a certain book. She was the class rep, and any book we were required to have must have been purchased by her, but she misinterpreted it. He was very shy, so he just handed over the money in hopes she would understand. That's also the reason he waited until everyone was gone. Not a teacher, but students at my high school started rumors that I was having intense exhaust pipe sex with Lightning McQueen. The whole school bought into it, and at award ceremonies they'd all yell "Ka-chow" when I walked on stage. I feel bad for you, but that is actually hilarious. I once successfully started the rumor that one of my students was born with a tail just because he said I couldn't do it. I highly doubt that. Please subscribe for more Reddit. Bye.